Joining us in studio to talk more about Stanbic Bank's, corporate investment sector, and also them being the main sponsor for this event. We're joined in studio by Mr. Nkandu Machungwa, who is the corporate and investment banking manager for energy, infrastructure, and real estate finance. Good morning and welcome to the Phoenix Breakfast.
Good morning, Chimweka. Good morning, Hope.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's get to understand this, because it sounds like a very long title. I wonder what's written on your door and on your business card. I wonder how many do you have to carry? When we hear the title, corporate and investment banking manager for energy, infrastructure, and real estate finance, just break this down for us in terms of what it's all about.
All right, thanks, Chimweka. My business cards are like Tetris. You have to put them together so you can read the whole thing. It's a really long title, and a not so short name either. So basically, I sit in what we call corporate investment banking within Stanbic Bank. It's basically a division of the bank that houses solutions for corporate clients and large entities. So not just corporates, state-owned entities, governmental entities, and others of that nature are the clients that we serve within that division within the bank, providing them a full suite of banking services right across transactional banking, foreign exchange solutions, hedging, and other things of that nature, as well as long-term, short-term financing solutions. So it's a full suite of banking, whatever it is you can imagine, but tailored to the corporate and larger sized organizations. Thank you.
And also, as a manager focusing on energy, infrastructure, and real estate finance at Stanbic, just tell us more of why this is a very important role for you and the organization generally.
Okay. You just mentioned the energy crisis, right? So, we are currently now as a country facing a fairly significant challenge in the energy sector. Last week, when we were launching the conference, I asked a room of about 30 people to raise their hand if they had power this morning. Only 4 of the 30 put their hands up. So for me, that just sums up where we are right now as a country, and the size of the challenge in front of us. But of course, as you said, the challenge brings opportunity. It gives not only the bank but other parties opportunity to provide solutions for those problems. And my job on a day-to-day basis in the energy sector is helping deliver those solutions to you and the rest of us Zambians. In the real estate space, it may not be as front of mind, but something's been mentioned. I think as of last year, we had a housing deficit of about 1.5 million housing units. By 2030, projected to be about 3 million units, and that's another problem that we need to solve. So my day-to-day really is finding ways to solve problems in those two spaces, and it's quite exciting doing things that make a meaningful difference.
So what has Stanbic done so far? Because we hear Stanbic saying you drive Zambia's growth, you believe in Zambia, you've been here for more than 60 years. So what has Stanbic done so far to support the energy sector?
So Stanbic Bank obviously been in Zambia over 60 years, been in existence over 150 years. The Standard Bank Group, that is. What have we done to support the sector? Most recently and probably significantly, I think we worked on the Northwestern Province connection power line. So there was a project that was concluded about 2021. Which was effectively connected Northwestern Province, the mines up there, and places like Kabompo, Lukulu that had never been connected to the national grid. Stanbic Bank and the Standard Bank Group acted as the mandated lead arranger on that project, building a whole transmission line and connecting that part of the country to the grid. So people that had never had power before had power because we worked with other banks to deliver that sort of infrastructure. Also, projects most recently around the distribution expansion and reinforcement of the Copperbelt and Lusaka grid, improving the stability of the grid and connectivity to that grid as well. So also just making sure that people that lived in these provinces had more access to power and more stable power in their households. So we're working with be it ZESCO and other players in the sector to deliver a more comprehensive and I guess stable service to the average Zambian and industry as well in the country.
All right. Now, I see that Stanbic is a platinum sponsor for the Energy Forum for Africa, which is from Wednesday the 14th to Friday the 16th of August. Are you able maybe to tell us why Stanbic is sponsoring such an event?
Thank you, Hope. So, it's not we're doing all these transactions, and people, ask the question, like you said, what is Stanbic doing? Stanbic says we believe in Zambia, we believe in here. What are you actually doing? So we're doing these transactions. People may not know, but also, this conference we think is a way to not only get ourselves out there and tell you what it is that we're doing, what it is that we are participating in, how we're actually trying to impact this economy positively, but also to bring together players that are going to solve the problems that we're facing. I think this forum is going to be very instrumental in allowing, power producers, power purchasers, and solution providers and others to actually meet under one roof, regulators, etc., finances, and have these meaningful discussions that will unlock some of the bottlenecks and the challenges that we're facing and help us get to where we want to be as a country. Thank you.
The theme for this conference is investment opportunities in the energy sector in Zambia and Africa. What can we say are the key areas within the energy sector that are promising? Because right now it seems quite dim, no pun intended, quite dark for the country.
Good one.
But what investment opportunities? What is promising within the sector?
Okay, so I mean, Zambia is a very interesting place. You would know, and I guess it's why we are where we are. Most of our power is generated in effectively with hydropower. So it's all largely dams, rain-fed dams that generate our power. And unfortunately, we didn't get much rain, therefore we don't have much power. But another thing that Zambia has in abundance is sunlight. And we've not historically really tapped into that as much as we probably should have. So I think the immediate obvious opportunity that exists is in the solar space, the renewable space, and let me not limit this to just solar, but the renewable space for Zambia, an investment in that space to generate power, not only for the Zambian market, but also for the rest of the region. As you know, the power deficit is not only affecting Zambia. This affects all of the Southern African power pool. So all of SADC currently doesn't have enough power. Zambia has the one advantage of being surrounded by 8 neighbors and as a result largely connected to the rest of the region. So an investment in Zambia really is kind of an investment in SADC and SAP. You could come and set up in Zambia, not only provide power to the people of Zambia, but to the people of the SAP, and soon are going to be connected to the East African power pool, so you could sell power into East Africa as well. So there's opportunities in renewable energy, be it solar, be it wind, and even hydro in the northern parts of the country, that really I think are begging to be exploited. We're looking to ramp up copper production up to 3 million metric tons. You've heard the president say this. This is going to require power. So there is opportunity, and there's definitely demand for that power, and parties could come in and invest in Zambia and really take advantage of the opportunity that exists.
All right, so let's also looking at financing energy projects. I know there's also an aspect of access to financing being a critical challenge for the energy projects. So how is Stanbic positioned to support both local and international investors in overcoming these financial challenges?
Yes. So Stanbic, as a member of the Standard Bank Group, the Standard Bank Group is effectively the largest balance sheet by assets in Africa, and the largest energy finance book of all of our peers. So effectively, not only in Zambia but across the African continent, we're significantly backing power projects. And I think we're in a position where, one, of course, we have the balance sheet to back large projects. We have the expertise, as you mentioned. I myself focus purely on energy and infrastructure and real estate finance solutions. But beyond just me, there's a team sitting behind me, hundreds of people here locally in our head office that are specialized in purely just delivering power. So we've got sector experts that understand how to deliver these projects, how to deal solutions, to the problems that we're facing, specifically for Africa, because we are an African bank, and we have the balance sheet to back these projects. So I think our ability arises from our understanding of the continent, the problems, and how to solve them, because we've faced these problems across the continent. Let's face it, whatever it is Zambia's facing today is not a new problem. It's been faced all around Africa, and we've faced these challenges before, and we'd like to bring that expertise into Zambia, into solving the problems that Zambia's facing. As
we conclude, because part of your work, and I think this is a very important question I really have to find out, part of your focus is on energy, right?
Yes.
Do you have the energy ready for the Stanbic Music Festival in October?
Listen, I bought my tickets. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. People, I hope are just as excited as I am for Omarion. I'm a big fan. I told people his first single, came out. I wasn't that big on B2K. It was more for the girls. But when he came out on his own,
yes,
I like that. I was with that. And Music Soul Child for me I've always been a big fan. I loved his music. I love the soul and the style, the way he does his thing. So I'm excited. I'm ready. I've got my dancing shoes.
Nice.
And listen, you better be there. It's going to be big. It's going to be big.
Looking forward to it. Kanu, thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Phoenix Breakfast.
Thank you, Chimweka. Thank you.
We've been joined by the Corporate and Investment Banking Manager for Energy, Infrastructure and Real Estate Finance at Stanbic Bank in Kandu, Machungwa, right here on Phoenix FM, talking about the Energy Forum for Africa conference, which starts tomorrow, the 14th of August, and ends on Friday, the 16th of August, 2024. So they are Stanbic is a platinum sponsor for this event, and definitely is something to look forward to. Speaking of what you can look forward to, 7:25 we have the daily sports update, what the paper says still coming up, and also the Phoenix breakfast menu.